Welcome everyone, it's Evelyn. This is a twin flame read. Let's go ahead and take a deep breath. Sending lots of love and blessings out to you guys. This is a twin flame read for both the masculine and the divine feminine. If something doesn't resonate with you, don't force it to fit. This is a 7-deck read, so there's a lot of energy on the table. There's a lot of messages. Some will be for everyone and some will be for only a few. And so here we go. This is a very cool message today. There's a lot of really cool stuff that came through. I did this last night at 11 o'clock. I cut the SIRIAN Starseed deck actually at 10:33, which is the 10 of the Wheel of Fortune, and 33 is the Christ vibration and the 7 of Wands, standing up for yourself. And at 10:44, I was getting, instead of the 8 of chalices, I was getting the eight of chalices, of emotions and heart, and also the ES was also coming up. And that was at 10:44, which is the Wheel of Fortune, and the 44 of the Master vibration of grounding, integrating, and mastering, especially receiving of love. And I finished clarifying this read at 11:01 to 2. 1 is the Magician, 2 is the High Priestess, and 11 is Justice, which is truth and balance. The major arcana in this read were Chariot and Shadow. Shadow's like the Devil card. And before the read, Ascension, which is like the world, and Higher Self came up, which is like the High Priestess. After the read, Solar Deity, the Sun, Guidance, which is the Hierophant, Tower came up, and Reason, which is the Emperor card. So I'm going to show you the main, this is the SIRIAN Starseed deck, the main deck for the read. Okay, and then this is the whole read in front of you, which has all 7 decks. We have the Mini Rider-Waite, the Romance Angels, the Tarot Sexual Magic, the Numerology deck, the Gilded Tarot, and the Universal Golden Tarot. Okay, so we had 4 cups, 4 wands, 1 sword in the read, and then the court cards. The King of Cups was the only court card in the read, except for after the read, the King of Wands also came up, but that was it. So 2 kings, but the King of Cups was the main king in the read. We had numbers in the read, double 8s and double 10s. Double 8s are the twins, side by side, each balanced within their own masculine and feminine and dancing between them. The 10-10 is that very high vibration. And then we also have 6, 7, 8, lay them straight. 23 of the King of Wands. 36 of the 10 of Wands, the Atlas energy. And 8, 10 also, which is 81 with 0 behind it. A lot of source energy backing up the end of karma around the world. And in a lesser sense, we had 34 of the 8 of Wands, 46 of the 6 of Cups, the children in the garden, 89 of the Phi energy, expansion and contraction, outside the human body temperature, and then 9, 10 begin again and again and again. The code line was all about communication and pride. And definitely Jesus and Mary Magdalene were coming up today, the template of the twins. So stick around if you want to hear about that. The CO was separated from the communication, so co and communication, but it was double M's, the Mary Magdalene, and the unication. And the occasion is an ion, so the ion is connection. So the unification of connection with others, and Mary Magdalene coming up here, along with the co, right? So she's a co-pilot with Han Solo, the co-pilot, with Mary Magdalene. Okay, so it's the Jesus and Mary Magdalene template, and pride coming up. So not letting pride get in the way of love. The code line was all about the number 12, coming from a big number, 26103, all one number, 2,600,103. And I actually meant to look up to see if that was a zip code or not, so you can check that out if you want. I forgot to do that. So the code line was coming up around to receive 2 lovers in their high vibration, their gifts, the flash of light, to be the star and exist, just exist. So today is the 3rd. And so what do we have, the 19 today? 12, 15, 16, yep, 19 is the sun. and the 3 of the Empress. So the sun was definitely significant in the read today. And the sun is all about full exposure and happiness, children, that Leo energy of the sun, that brightness, the fully energized and fully exposed, not allowing any secrets. And then the 3 of the Empress, which is abundance and Gaia and the Empress, right? Having it all together, being an example perhaps to others. And the Empress, she combines all the energies of all of the 4 suits. So she has gone through all of those, and she has a lot of wisdom to give. So, and that's Mother Nature, the earth, nature, that is perfectly balanced and always knows what's right for us, just like our bodies always know what's right for our body. So listen to your body. So the sun, I didn't realize that. The sun, and the same thing came up with, in the read actually. The sun, the Empress energy, and creativity came up at some point in the read. So again, that's the mother-father energy, right? The organic, the divine mother-father energy is Mother Earth and the central sun, basically. So that I didn't even notice that was today's energies, and that came up separately in the read. So that'll come up later. So the code line about receiving, to receive, and that came up yesterday too. 2 lovers, high vibrational gifts, the flash of light, right? The inspiration, the downloads, the synchronicities, all of that, to be the star and exist, just to be who you are in union. So a lot of acronyms were coming up here, and AFOM was one of the acronyms coming up. I don't know if you've ever heard of the word, but it means to receive and take up, or to take hold or seize in the river, and some other ones that come up a lot. But to take hold, seize the day of the 2 lovers' destiny of the present moment. The flash of light strikes in a heartbeat, I'm just getting now. But that flash of light also references the star here, about communication and pride. And then it was coming up a phi, so 2 like phi, P-H-I, but it's spelled F-I as well. And the symbol of the capital F for me is phi. So 2 phis were coming up here, a phi, which for me is so-phi, right? So that's Sophia energy. So-phi, like so fly. The divine feminine collective energy is Sophia. And then Christ comes up. The psychic lovers destined to the high road, an energetic exchange of flames to self, right? Because you are each other's higher self, to be, to beat, to exist, to hit and strike and star. Inspired high vibration of the Empress of drama in a flash of lightning. Sweet. All right, so here Empress is Gaia, and here we have this flash of light coming in on the 21st or around that time. It's supposed to come in, I've heard different reports, right? Some that it's around the 21st, and then there's another channel that said that it was supposed to come in exactly at 11:11 that morning of the 21st. So whatever information you're getting personally, listen to that. We start on this read with the 2 of Cups upright, which is a really nice place to start. So here's the 2 of Cups, this top card, and then the mini cards on top. And below that card, we had the Ace of Cups reversed, the 4 of Pentacles reversed, the Ascension card, which is the World upright, the 9 of Pentacles, the Sovereign upright, and the Higher Self upright. And that is each other, the Higher Self. The soulmates. After overwhelm, dumped, purging, starting over, the cycle complete, the Sovereign and the Higher Self, which is the 2 of you together, the 2 of Cups upright, the connection. The 9 of Cups and the 10 of Cups, both happy by yourself and emotionally filled with family and others around you in a completion of an emotional cycle or a happy ending of a family, happy alone and with family. The King of Cups reversed, though, dysfunctional family of the 10 of Pentacles family that is reversed here, the family, business, or community, while the Queen of Cups is upright, finding peace away, while aligning work with the Page of Cups, a child or a message of love, or perhaps using that message of love as their work. So the Queen of Cups is upright, the King of Cups reversed. One very emotionally detached, and the other one very much in her heart, and dealing with a child or perhaps multiple children and family, but it's all very upright cups energy, except for the King of Cups, who may be emotionally detached or unavailable. Also, he could be over-emotional or be drinking too much. So this King of Cups reversed with the dysfunctional Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or community, whereas the Queen seems like she's dealing more with the emotional family and a happy life. The Queen of Cups finding peace away, and he dealing with more of a mess, perhaps at work, if they are together, and one's dealing with the home and family, and one's dealing with the workplace or the community. But sleeping, resting in the 5D connection of that Two of Cups, you and your higher self, right? Me and my shadow, with the Page of Cups message of love, performing lovers in a slowdown, or this downturn of our world that's been going on this whole year, but working to align with the Chariot upright, which is ascension energy, the vehicle of ascension for the Two of Cups to get in and go. In a twist of fate, aligning with blocks as close, trying to get trying to get the blocks, as aligning with the blocks, trying to get as close to the portal as possible, right? That's that 0 point, right? The shadow and the light, and merging the two into the 0 point, as close to the portal as possible. The kids not doing their homework, perhaps, or there's lots of waste at work. Ascending past all that. The details. The Hierophant coming clean, implementing a plan to move forward and offer help. Perhaps propose cleaning up the place, inside and out. Perhaps there's some sneaky noise upstairs. Perhaps kids are making too much noise or peeking over the balcony at 12:59, which is the Hangman and the Five of Swords. That conflict energy of the war within, which is also the war without, someone who's very defensive or aggressive. So let go of control issues came up for the twins, and beneath that was chemistry. There was definitely chemistry here, but let go of the control issues. And pride came up here in the cards as well. So did that come up on the prior page? Nope. Okay. So the Hierophant needing to control the youngins, perhaps, right? So this could be someone who's in charge. It could be a Taurus, a marriage, a leader, a religious leader, but someone needing to control the youngins. The Two of Wands reversed here. So there's no date night, no options, with the High Priestess or higher self with the keys out being shown, and the Knight of Wands rescuing, being the hero, fending off unwanted affections in a surprise meal at home. So instead of going out to eat, maybe someone's surprising someone with a meal at home. Little Lizard getting a peek of the rescue efforts to come to block them from coming together. So there's definitely an energy here of a feminine energy pretending to need rescue when they're really not. It's like a setup to get the masculine to fall again into their trap, that they need rescuing, so they'll come and rescue them again to keep them away from the divine feminine. That was the energy I was getting. And whether it's a child or a partner or someone in the family, that's the energy that was coming up. The Little Lizard getting a peek of the rescue efforts to come to block them from coming together. Kids turning up the heat at home. There may be a ploy to rescue one who's pretending, but remembering what it was like to hold his divine feminine. Spirituality comes up here as 77, which is that sovereign energy. And beneath that was self-discipline, which is 41, the Ace of Cups, which is self-love, spiritual love, or new love. It's a very all-encompassing love. So there's letting go, overwhelmed, getting over a loss, perhaps sneaking out the back, ghosting, or getting away with something. The Queen of Wands reversed. I just whistled again. Whenever I talk about queens, I've been whistling lately, which is really funny. The Queen of Wands reversed and the Emperor reversed, and the Hermit here is upright. The Queen of Wands reversed and the Emperor reversed may be out of control. And granted, this could be two people who are just sick. That could be as well, or just really, really tired. Or there's two people who are out of control, right? You don't want to deal with a Queen of Wands who's pissed off like that, or an Emperor who's reversed, right? Out of control, either abusing power or the other way where they're losing losing their power, their ego, this ego death, and then they're upset about that, or they're just sick or tired. And the Hermit here upright, holding the light, the holder for the crystal, the containment of energy. The Queen of Wands reversed is coming up red, the Emperor reversed coming up white, blue, and gold, and the Hermit, Father Time, with Aries reversed and Virgo upright, Pisces upright, Taurus upright, Gemini upright, Libra reversed, and Cancer upright here in the underlying energy. So the Hermit with the Two of Cups, which can be a Virgo energy as well, or someone who's just wise counsel or a professional or an old wise one. But this is around the Two of Cups with the Chariot, which also can be a Cancer person, and the Knight of Pentacles upright, offering help to surprise with a meal perhaps, and some spirituality. It's like Meal on Wheels, but a spiritual meal on wheels. I'm getting a title around that. I don't know if someone's doing something like that. The recent past is the Ten of Swords, where the worst is over, and the bliss has come in, the bliss state, surrendering to the enemy, the Queen of Wands reversed on a quest to beat the Queen of Swords reversed and the King of Pentacles reversed, who may be recovering from exile, getting over their grief. The worst is over with the Sovereign, perhaps the Divine Feminine, and the Queen of Swords reversed and the silent treatment. The foundation here is the Eight of Wands upright in energetic exchange. So we have the Page of Swords reversed, the Tower reversed, and the Knight of Cups reversed. So this can just be two children needing to clean up a mess they made. That could be as well. It also could be like avoiding a disaster, but both of them are reversed. So they're either unhappy because they're in trouble, or they're cleaning up the mess from this sudden event that already happened. The Page of Swords reversed and the Knight of Cups reversed, which are very negative energy. One's very jealous or feeling rejected and moody, and the other one spouts off at the mouth, right? But here's a very positive energy. It's the Eight of Wands, upright. It's an energetic exchange, the arrows of love, expressing of feelings. After this immature energy. So there's some negative self-talk, perhaps, in the aftermath of jealousy, or kids up to no good, and separation, sharing with the High Priestess, or a secret, a Pisces or Virgo. Hearing or breaking... There could be heartbreaking goodbyes here, or some bad news, perhaps settling out after a sudden event, and the High Priestess or higher self over a rejection. The central energy at the heart of the matter for this read is the Ten of Cups upright, which can, usually looks like a beautiful, emotionally fulfilling energy, and it can be a very happy family, or some kind of emotional fulfillment. But it is the end of a cycle. It can definitely be the end of an emotional cycle or a family cycle. But maybe everyone's on board with it at this time. Maybe they've gotten over the grief of it at this point. But it's also can be the sham fam, where it comes up like the perfect energy, but it's not, because obviously there's some immature energies on the card just below it, reflecting that that's just not the case. So however it resonates with you, the central energy is the Ten of Cups upright, which can be a very happy energy, unless it's the sham fam, recovering in loss in a downturn of awakening, and the Star of Bethlehem coming up here. Libra reversed, Capricorn reversed, and Aquarius upright, and the Seven of Cups upright, which for me is synchronicities and as well choices. It can be confusing or cause illusion as well, and or heaven in their eyes. And it was funny because I was watching, after I watched the Christmas Chronicles 2 the other night, I knew my son would really like that. So I suggested it to him last night, and then by accident we put on Christmas Chronicles 1, the first movie, which I hadn't seen yet. So we ended up watching both of them last night. And in the movie about Christmas, the star that energized Santa's village was stolen. So here the star was stolen, and the star is coming up again in the read. And that was actually where I went to bed. And then I finished doing the read this morning. So the challenge here is looking back at a third-party situation or social distancing, bad influences that you've been dealing with this year, but standing up for yourself, insecure about freeing oneself from detoxing and meditating, right? Do you really need to do all that you're doing, or do you really need to just be more authentically you? Strong in connection, knowing and keeping to yourself, keeping that mental balance and purity of energy. Death and dark night of the soul and transition portal coming up here. The convergence at rebirth, the 0 point field on the horizontal with twin, right? That dance back and forth between the masculine and feminine with your twin, because your twin here in this twin flame relationship that you're in is not an etheric twin where they're not incarnate. They are incarnate. So I was here, they were showing me the horizontal field with your twin. As December winds of change in the dying aspect of winter cold and preservation and awakening of the messenger of truth in an announcement, a judgment, a wake-up call, but a sweet one, to detox and purify. And then they were emphasizing the phi energy here again, which is expansion and contraction. We have to detox, purify, and yesterday, one of the words was coming up as pure and holy. So they were showing me purify, and instead of holy-fy, because that's not a word, hollow-fy, which was great because actually Jen McCarty had used an expression about hollowing yourself to make yourself empty, and I love that idea. And so here this was coming up again under the holy, the pure and holy, the purify, which is the expansion and contraction energy of the phi, of purity, and the same with the hollowing of yourself or the holiness inside you. The phi energy. And then the Fifi of iron was coming up, and the Phi. So then Phi Phi Fo Fum was coming up. But the Fifi or the Phi comes up for me as Sophia, Sophi. And then the A at the end, which is the human embodiment of source in connection. The tail of the A for me is connection. The Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or community, which is FBC. So then they were showing me not FBI, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, but the Federal Bureau of Christ Consciousness and Community Orientation. So that was really cool the way that came up. Okay. So then when I woke up this morning, before I finished doing this read, I looked at the clock and it was 9:18, which came up twice yesterday because I brought it up in my read, and I woke up at 9:18, which is my birthday, and it was so Frosty the Snowman, happy birthday, to remind you to wake up and say happy birthday every day. In rebirth, right? Go into that high vibration again. Be reborn every day. And then I ended up getting up at 9:44, and it was very interesting because 9:18 is my birthday and 44 is my life lesson number in numerology. So now, coming back to the read, it was 10:22 this morning. Detoxify, purify, and hollowfy, which is the holy phi, right? Make yourself holy or hollow. Empty yourself out to bring in that lightness. The phi, the Fifi. So it was showing me all the spelling, PHI and the FI. You can spell them either way. It really doesn't matter. It's still the same energy for me. And then the Fifi, which Fe is iron. And then the Sophie with the A, the Sophia, the human connection. So then they were taking me to the Phi Phi Fo Fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman, which has definitely come up many times before in my reads. But they were leading me to a message which ended up being really, really cool. So iron, I looked up all of those words because they're all words, right? So Phi Phi Fo Fum, iron, expansion and connection, under the influence of a fiddler, a Han poet, right? Because in the Han Dynasty there was a form of poetry. Hunger and ant and ass also came up, but also under this are the masters and experts at being. So I looked them all up, and there's a lot of parallels between the meanings of Phi, Phi, Fo, and Fum, and they use all the vowels except for A, which was very interesting, so follow along because that came up too. Phi, Phi, Fo, Fum. Fe being the belief, the faith, the mythical beings. The ox comes up here of the cattle, but the masculine energy comes up, so it was more about the ox than the cow. The blockhead and the water of the fool, the he energy, the Iron Man comes up, strong in faith and mind. That's Fe, like the Iron Man, and Fe is representative of iron. It's a symbol for iron. So it was interesting because I wrote down the masculine and feminine energies that were coming up under each definition, and also water and fire, because they're all coming up as water or fire or both. And this is all from Wiktionary. So I use Wiktionary because it's got all the definitions from around the world, and also wikipedia.org if I have any of other definitions. Those were the only two things I was using today. And if something else came up, I'll let you know. But the fire, Fi, is like the PHI, or the F symbol for me, which is that expansion and contraction energy. It comes up as fire and water, the masculine and the feminine, to be, to feel childlike, feel like children. Smooth, sharp, and fine, right? All new and ready to go. The end was so cool that F sharp came up here, right? The fourth note of the major scale sharp, but we usually reference the C scale first. And F sharp would be going outside the crown. Because if C is the heart, then F is the crown. F sharp would be going outside your body into the etheric realm. So there's the 5, expansion and contraction, the fire and the water of the masculine and the feminine, to be childlike, smooth, sharp, and fine. And it also means the end, and F sharp, above, to go above the crown. The FO is coming up as masculine energy. Obviously the iron was masculine energy, but it was with water, which is the feminine energy. So it was the masculine learning to go into his feminine energy, but it is the Iron Man. It's very masculine. The Phi is coming up as both, water and fire, both masculine and feminine. And then the FO came up as masculine energy, but with water. Again, so here's the masculine learning his feminine energy again, the FO, under the influence of. Actually, fun comes up under that as well. Before, below, and through. Unfriendly and dangerous, to peel him. Brother or cousin, sibling rivalry comes up here under the foe. But this is also, it was showing me the energy of, it's the 4D, because 4D is the murkiness, it's the purgatory, it's the purge. So we go through the 4D, and this is referencing the below and the under energies, and going through. It's like the first half of the bridge, going from the 3D into the bridge of the 4D, under the influence of fun. And this is the foe, which is the opponent, the sibling rivalry coming up, the him, the brother or cousin, someone who's very close to you, who fights with you all the time. And unfriendly and dangerous, to peel back those layers, because you never know what you're going to find. That's the FO. So then the FU energy of FUM comes up, and there's different ways I looked it up. So FU is FU, right? Saying FU, but it's coming up as FUM is very interesting because the F is the feminine part. The UM is masculine, but it's water masculine and fire feminine. The feminine going into her masculine, the masculine going into his feminine. The UM is the masculine, but the FUM negates the masculine. It overwhelms it with feminine because it's the masculine going into this feminine with the feminine. The feminine was actually overtaking the masculine and becoming all feminine. So the word FUM is all feminine, whereas the word UM is actually all masculine. And then I went into just, well, I guess that was it. So under the feminine part of FUM, F-U-M, the fiddler comes up, the mythical Chinese bird, or the Han poetry, the very feminine energy, the smoke, the ghost, the deceased master, being averse to receiving love, very much the feminine. The divine feminine here. The UM coming up is like the hissing cat, flat like a leaf, a nest to hide, a nuisance, an ass, a hungry pig, an ant being, to be, to lay, to be true, to stay. FU, U, service to self, but the F expands and contracts. The masculine part of the Phi, expansion, the skill, the mind, the intellect, the wit, the art of the man, the husband, committing to his stone and water, or his divine feminine side. Not under or before here, but around, about, during, along, through, over, and across, beyond, far, concerning Fa, a longer way to run. So here we go. The last one takes us up and outside the body with Fa, which isn't part of Fi, Fi, Fo, Fum, but Fa is a longer way to run, crossing to the other side. the chicken and crossing to the other side, the chicken and Little Red Riding Hood. So the chicken crossing the road and Little Red Riding Hood crossing the woods. All right, so and then I had to look up in Wikipedia to remind myself the story of Chicken Little, because Chicken Little came up. Chicken Little was struck on the crown and then thought the sky was falling and needed to ground. So this is, of course, my interpretation of the story. So the getting struck on the crown opened them up to their higher self twin, and then the sky is falling. They're twins coming in, breaking the light and sound barriers and ascending. Why did the chicken cross the road? To get a little. All right, so we have Chicken Little. Why did the chicken cross the road? To get a little. So that my guides are very funny that way. So we continue with the read in judgment, right? Sweetly judging. The Page of Cups, innocence, but unable to put pure feelings into words, right? Because this is an immature energy. The Page of Cups is a very young child, very much in their heart and loving, but can they form words to express how they're truly feeling? So that energy is coming up of innocence, but unable to put pure feelings into words, with the Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or community dysfunction, and the sky falling, and trying to avoid the debris of Michael pushing Metatron's buttons, Michael the force, through Metatron, the instrument or empty vessel that resonates to heal your grief, the past and the long night that is the winter with no sun, sundowning, deprived of nutrition, sad sack, feeling burned, no hope for tomorrow. So now in the current moment is the King of Cups reversed, dumping a load, a burden, responsibilities, confessing the past, and the Knight of Wands passionately rushing in. The King of Wands emotionally detached, in disconnect or at a distance of higher self, right? In conflict, expansion of the Hermit seeking Waldo, and Waldo desperately seeking Susan. The Queen of Pentacles reversed, adverse to receiving the King of Cups reversed, Ace of Wands, which can be a sexual offer, an offer of passion, creativity, or growth. The Two of Cups bliss state, an energetic exchange of the Ten of Cups, that happy family or the sham fam, with the King of Cups reversed. So why is he reversed? The challenge being the past, or looking or going back. So I was really getting here, the feminine always looks back, and that's her problem. The masculine is always going back, and that's his problem. Living in the past, the King of Swords upright must cut himself off. So this is his perspective. Living in the past, the King of Swords aspect of the masculine here is upright and in his integrity. He must be the Knight of or the King of Swords because he must cut himself off from his emotions, with the Queen of Pentacles reversed receiving his sexual energy when he connects to his higher self or his twin. So there's a catch-22 when emotionally unavailable, needing to expand to higher self, right, to ascend and become your better person, but then not wanting to because you're afraid to hurt your twin with the sexual energy, not seeing it as the divine masculine's expression of love, because many men express their love through sexuality. And how can love ever be wrong? The conditions of humans to keep them grounded, of Gaia, to be human, of this world, and finding their way back to the universe or the universal love. Taking a risk to close the distance gap here, to come clean or get clean, or clean up their act or space, on a quest to break through the Iron Curtain, the fee fi fo fum, from Russia with love to Englishman, James Bond 007, unable to break through the sound barrier, with the divine feminine keeping to herself, or refusing unwanted advances, as impatient Page of Wands reversed, fallen angel, is frustrated and letting go to repair, fix, and mend. At 11:49, which is justice and the Nine of Cups, being satisfied with self, getting their wish, now playing hardball in that energetic exchange between the twins, with sovereign lover not putting it out there, only doing this under the radar, at 11:50 now, bringing the emotional fulfillment of the family coming in. Or Sagittarius reversed and Aries reversed are not getting along here. A fallen angel and a frustrated child, trying to fix things, playing hardball in the energetic exchange with the divine feminine sovereign, or withholding time, money, and effort, or holding back perhaps money owed, a loan, or a new life. The sovereign here, with affection between the sovereign and the Page of Pentacles, which can be two kids, right? The sovereign would be an older teenager, and then the Page of Pentacles. There is affection between these two, and the strong affection between them in the whether it's the twin-twin connection or the child-to-child connection. And the Page of Pentacles student to the Hermit, shedding light on how to travel to or get to or ascend to the Emperor reversed and the King of Wands upright. There's a lot of people here, okay? So it looks like it's showing the connection, because the energetic exchange between the masculine and feminine can involve more people, because if either one of them is connected in another relationship, then they're sharing their energy with the other people that are sexually connected to the twin. So there could be multiple people involved here, whether there's partners on both sides or just one side of the twin relationship, but there's also kids involved here. A lot of times the kid energy parallels the twin energy. So I want you to understand that, because the kids may be reflecting back to you your exact situation and maybe giving you clues to what you need to work on about yourself. So then we have the Emperor reversed and the King of Wands upright. So someone's definitely like losing their mind or losing their shit. And this is going to parallel politics as well here when we get into this stuff at the end of the read. So the Lovers are under the radar, purging and overwhelmed, in surrender to the Hermit, missing their flame, but under the thumb of the Emperor reversed and the King of Wands upright, which can be two different people or one person, right? The Emperor reversed can just represent that the King of Wands is an Aries, so that's possible as well. So then Rumpelstiltskin came up, you know, under my thumb, and then Rumpelstiltskin came up, which is a German fairy tale, grim reapers of children and household tales, about an imp who spins straw into gold, and of course this is from wikipedia.org, in energetic exchange for a girl's firstborn. So a father miller person who lies about his daughter's skills and promises the king that she can spin thread into gold. The king locks her up in a tower, just like Rapunzel, like the Divine Feminine in the E-Tower, demanding gold or will cut her head off, just like the Queen of Hearts in Alice in Wonderland. She gives up all hope, and an imp comes to save the day, but she must pay in energetic exchange with her necklace, because they're not going to get, the imp isn't going to give her something for nothing. So let's make a deal comes up. The second day, she has to give him her ring if he's going to make the gold again, and the third day she's got nothing to give anymore. So she offers her firstborn, because the king's threatening to kill her if she doesn't spin gold. So of course that day comes where she has a child, because now the king's married her, and he does not want her wealth instead of a child, and says he will let go of the child if she can guess his name, and that's where the Rumpelstiltskin stuff comes in. Within 3 days, seeing the trees through the forest, she seeks and finds his cottage and spies and hears him say his name. And then he disappears forever because she guessed his name. But how he disappears, there's many different versions or timelines of this. The trickster got played at his own game. So Rumpelstiltskin came up here, and then I was guided to separate the name. We have the rump of the butt and the EL, which can be like Spanish as Elvis or El that, or the Elohim energy, but the stilt of being on stilts, and then the skin, which covers and protects us. But also the stilt is the poles, right? Being polarized. The stilt is a crutch or a handle of a plow. A post, just like the mast is a post. I get that word all the time of support, but this means the same thing, the support, or two poles to raise you up. The ass, the rump, the support skin to raise you up, that buffers the fall when you fall on your butt. Taking a licking and keeps on ticking when you have a nice juicy butt, right, at 12:10, which is the hangman, and the 10 of the Wheel of Fortune, going forward, a turn for the better. So teacher or student comes up here, or the wise one and the child, or father and son, ascending to patient and caregiver, right, where the roles reverse, where all of a sudden you're the adult child now taking care of your ill parent. The Emperor reversed and the King of Wands upright. Soon for the twins is the Chariot in a bold move forward. Here Durga is coming up. Durga seen with 5 horses and Santa with 9 reindeer. Always an odd number because there's one leading the pack. There's no options but to tell the truth after sleeping on it and detoxing, connecting in 5D, the truth about the full moon and no sun, the lunar eclipse done, and the solar eclipse to come, announcing a new season of winter, but also the Aquarius age, powering up with the false light, electronics, and sundowning, with Leo opposite Aquarius, the shade of the false mother and the ego of the false father, and the final judgment, the purge, the deluge, or the delure, the recitance, the reserve, the pain. And then doula came up as well, which is the midwife, right, that takes you through the middle. And then the deluge, which came up as the great flood, or the rain, the overwhelm, the catastrophic event. So all of this coming up together. Also the do and the duality of the poles coming up here. A lot of do's here. The pain, midwife, when hitting the floor, you get the midwife to help. And then the great flood, the dark night of the soul. The dual of the poles. So a lot of those words were coming up. Delamur was coming up as well, which means delio, which means to finish. Why did I write that word? I'm having so much trouble reading my writing today. I destroy, I raise, I annihilate, I finish. But you get the energy of Delamur. And then demerge was coming up, which is a reversal of a merger. It's a breakup. And then lemerge was coming up as the merge. So there's an announcement here, a call to action, to wake, just like Frosty the Snowman. Happy birthday! To wake and sing and dance and celebrate human life. Sometimes overwhelming, and then you must cry to let it all out, just like a baby. To distress the body, to let the fluid out, to sweat, to pee, to vomit, to purge, all to cleanse you. The body knows best. The Page of Wands reversed and the Page of Pentacles upright, moving frustration into discovery. One who gets frustrated and then calls you out on your shit, and the other able to spin it and make the most of it. Spinning the thread into gold, to take the negative and flip it to a positive, to transmute and merge, 2 opposite sides of the same coin. Your subconscious is their projection, the projector and the big screen star. Each coin is rare, unlike any other, and pure gold. The Christ unity consciousness. So then polarities of the different astrological signs were coming up. And so first in the read coming up here was Cancer and Capricorn and Cancer, and Leo and Aquarius, the horizontal axis of these, the horizontal pillars. The energy of Leo and Aquarius were coming up, that very detached ego of Aquarius and the very self-oriented ego of the Leo. And then the Capricorn and Cancer coming up as the false lights of mother and father, right? Because the moon is, the Chariot is the warrior mother, right? Which is no longer going to be the example of what the feminine is, right? Fighting for the children, while the father is the devil, right? Fighting for the family, going out to work, and perhaps cheating or dealing with the universe, as opposed to the mother, the warrior of the family. Okay? So then the real mother energy, we talk about this energy all the time, is the Gaia energy. And Gaia is represented in the deck by the Hierophant, the mother energy of abundance. The world, and the world is coming up for me as Pisces, And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what any other website defines the different signs as according to the cards, because I go by my guides and my intuition here about the energy that needs to come through. They're showing me the world as Pisces. It is the end of the astrological cycle, the Pisces, and the world is the end of the cycle in the deck. So it is coming up as a match here with Gaia and the Mother and abundance. So Pisces and Virgo were coming up as the purity of soul, and then the purity of the universal self. And you see how this goes, because the first 6 signs of the horoscope have to do with self, and the second 6 signs have to do with outside yourself, the world. So then Vesica Pisces was coming up here, and Vesica Pisces is the bladder of a fish, because the fish have dual air bladders in order to keep them afloat. And it's like that almond shape of the Vesica Pisces, the 2 circles coming together and making the shape of the diamond between where they merge. This is it literally means the bladder of a fish, because they have double bladders with air or gas in them that keeps them afloat. It's also considered a type of lens by the intersection, right, the eye of the Vesica Pisces, of the 2 discs, and then making the equilateral triangles inside that almond shape in the middle. They make 2 exactly equal, equilateral triangles facing each other, the masculine and the feminine. So the fish bladder, and this is all just stuff from Wikipedia. The fish bladder is also called the swim bladder. Filled with gas allows them to float. 2 humans emptied in the Vesica Pisces and floating on a wing and a prayer. The twin flames are seeing themselves as the 6 of Wands reversed. That's the energy of not putting it out there, doing it under the radar, and ending the nightmare by walking away and within, following your synchronicities, your signs and synchronicities, your guidance of the King of Swords upright, and the injustice of negative past, childhood, difficult kids, or falling out with the Empress upright, which is also Mother Earth, our falling out with Mother Earth, that we haven't been treating her properly, or the injustice of a strict upbringing or a strict religious upbringing here. So this could be dealing with, this is the energy of the twins. So this can represent the masculine and the feminine as the King of Swords and the Empress, or it can represent the masculine with his mother or his partner if he's with a partner. So however this resonates, the Empress is coming up as Gaia, that the King of Swords has not treated Gaia properly, or just the injustice that he had to deal with a negative past or childhood, whether it's his or his partner's, and difficult children, or a falling out with the Empress upright. They're both upright here. But Libra's coming up as reversed energy and Taurus upright. When the Libra's reversed, it can be the negative expression of Libra, but it also can be that it's not a Libra sun person. It's a rising or moon, or it's just heavy Libra in their chart. So it could be someone with Libra in their chart also, or it could be a negative Libra. So religious factors comes up here, true love and new love for the twins. So here religion's coming up here, and that's why the Hierophant's popping up a lot, because now we're dealing wounds about religion. Around the twin flames, or how they're seen, is the shadow reversed, detoxing the dark grid or matrix. We're detoxing the lack of joy that this causes, the lack of attention, lack of success or leadership, and worldwide domination. The messenger of truth ending the pain, bringing the bliss to the hostages, right, or the prisoners of the dark matrix. The messenger of truth, third party, with the worst now over, speaking up their truth about the past under the radar when they weren't being seen. And that's a line from one of my songs too, evergreen and never seen for the feminine especially. Being held down as captive, the POW of the world, and or the messenger of truth and the sealed divine feminine, prisoners of each other, speaking to release painful thoughts and being out in the world to end the guilt and shame, right? To show that there is no reason for guilt and shame. If you air everything, your full truth, then there is no guilt or shame about anything, because everything's already out there. There's nothing to feel guilty about. The block here for the twins is the 7 of Wands upright, the rising to tango with flame in hand, the 17 of the star and the age of Aquarius, and the star of Bethlehem, the little drummer boy, and Mr. Big all in one. Starting over in love, juggling, performing, creating new patterns, high vibrational work, as opposed to just cleaning up others' messes at 119, which is the Magician and the Sun. So it's coming up here as one final push of the Mary Magdalene energy with Michael, Archangel Michael, to clear the emotions of the Holy Grail as Thoth, aka Metatron, and Jesus rise up from the ashes in holy communion as one. And this is where the numerology cards came up: pride, communication, and even more so creativity. And pride is 19, communication is 33, and creativity is the number 3. So here's where the 3 of the Empress came up, which is Gaia and creativity, the 19 of the Sun and the central Sun, and then the communication of the Christ vibration. And this literally came up before the read, and I hadn't even written down the date yet, so I didn't know. So it's coming up again as the Christ Sophia, or the Christos Sophia, the Mother, Father, God, and that creative energy as the third energy between them. The Empress, the Sun. The Empress is the Gaia energy, the abundance, the Sun, and the Christ. Gaia and the central Sun, the Mother, Father, the Phoenix rising on the horizon of the Mother, of death and rebirth. So it's coming up as the Scorpio death energy, and then the Phoenix rising on the horizon of the Mother, which is Gaia, of death and rebirth, which is very Scorpio-ish, right? The vessels of death and birth, because Taurus and Scorpio are on the same axis. So then my guides were asking me to go through all of the 12 signs, because there's 6 axes here, or axes. And we start off with Aries and Libra. It's nothing long here, but just to give you an idea of what information they were giving me. Aries and Libra, of course, is the beginning of the horoscope. So that has to do with creation and 0 point. Creation is the chaos of Aries, and then the sustenance of the 0 point in Libra. The chaos and the balance, or deliverance. The bridges burned and the roads left traveled harmonized. The trigger and the harmonization, the catalyst and the catastrophe, the settlement, the deliverance, the back to center alignment, lining up the kids coming back in from recess, right? Line up, children. That's the Libra, organizing the chaos of the Aries of the kids playing outside. Then we go to Taurus and Scorpio, the birth and death, the empty vessels, right? The Taurus mother is an empty vessel of the womb, and then the Scorpio empty vessel that holds and contains. The Taurus energy collects, but the Scorpio is the trash, right? It's a very dark energy. The abundance and depth of suffering that Scorpio feels, and that's why Scorpio is the strongest sign of the zodiac, the Gaia of the mother and the central Sun, the source, and making the most of it without getting burned. This is the dance between them. Then the Gemini and Sagittarius came up, the twins and Jesus, right? So this is Gemini, the know-it-all, right? Because they love to talk and know-it-all. And then the Sagittarius of the knowing it all. They love to research and explore and go around the world. The reflector and the seeker of knowledge, the merger, the reflector and the merger, the within and without, the human knowledge and communication, source knowledge and communication, right? So human, on a human level, because Gemini's in the first 6 signs, it's of self and communicating knowledge. And then you have the higher end of that, the source knowledge and communication of Sagittarius. And for me, my read, Saggy always comes up as that God energy, because they're very expansive and free oriented. Then we have the Cancer and Capricorn, the false mother and father that we've been living for all this time, the war of the Cancer, right, the warrior, and the discipline of the Capricorn father, right, the disciplinarian who's very strict, the vehicles of ascension who move and carry, the warrior in the chariot and traveling to the etheric realm to confront your shadow and do the work, to resist as the Cancer and persist as the Capricorn, the goat climbing to the mountaintop no matter how long or how far, the impossible dreamer, the fighter, the protector, the military, and the dreamer, the manifester, because we're always told dreams aren't real, but they are. That's how we manifest. Then we have the Leo and Aquarius, the Leo being self-love, loving yourself just as you are, and then the Aquarius of universal love and imagination, discovering the ego on a personal level, and then on a universal level of attachment of Leo and detachment of Aquarius. And then the last one is Pisces, or Virgo and Pisces. And Pisces are the gate holders of purity and the afterlife, the purification of the day-to-day and how to live, of the human ego, right after Leo, Virgo purifies, and then the purification before transitioning to the outer realm. The dream weaver, Pisces, half in and half out, in this world but not of it. The dark night purification and ascension of the soul, sacrifice of Virgo and acceptance of Pisces. So I hope that was helpful for you guys. But that's the messages they were giving me, and Spirit's connecting with me. So then we go back to the read at the lunar eclipse. The full moon reacting upon itself in all business relationship, the false light seen for what it is. And again, we've been talking about this for a long time, that the moon is the false light. It's only the reflection of the sun. It doesn't emanate its own light. The dark mother, all about suffering and silence, not about love. Too many boundaries. The shell of the crab, right, is too hard. Finding the pearl in the trash that was thrown away by accident when they were overwhelmed. Walking away, Batman from the cave, the turtle from his shell, 40 days and 40 nights across the desert. The little drummer boy was coming up, the little Drummond boy. Grows up to be Mr. Big, no longer afraid of his own shadow, his emotional life, here on earth as a human being at 202, which is the High Priestess and the High Priestess, so two psychic people. So 203 comes up, which is the High Priestess, and then the Empress, or Gaia. Perhaps the mother's secret, or the psychic abilities that being on Gaia allows you. Standing up for yourself, taking the high ground, and keeping things to self while you're on unstable ground. Moving, visiting, ending a marriage, or dealing with visitation, that can be extraterrestrial as well, and homecoming here. Digging up 4 of 7, and that's the sweet spot, 4 to 7. Digging up 4 of 7, and then being present with only 3 wands, being very present in the moment. And then an ambulance came by. That was set 206, which is the High Priestess and the Lovers. Getting burned in the desert sun in the 40 days and 40 nights, the little drummer boy. The deserter, whether leaving the war or eating too many sweets, start to do what feels good and right to you, not anyone else. Guidance is there for the asking, all in room 222. Down with the ego, up with the source. 3 wise men and 1 being replaced or stepping down or sundowning here. Hermit upright, Chariot upright, and the Emperor reversed with the King of Wands, or Aries Hermit or Virgo replaced by the King of Wands Leo in chart, or with ego, the King of Wands upright shaman is avoiding the Emperor reversed at work, or in the aftermath of sudden events without reason or rhyme, the Emperor stepping down to retire or losing his mind or edge. Or the King of Wands with Aries in his chart is coming in to complete the triad, Hermit, Chariot, and Shaman, or Wise Council of Ascension Shaman, or the White House, the House, Senate, and the President-elect. If election, then I looked up to see, because I was getting sundowning and all that kind of stuff, so I was wondering, oh, is there anything about that? And there you go. The first line was all about them talking about Biden having sundowning. So then it said, if the president-elect, if the election is contested, the 12th Amendment says the House elects the president and the Senate elects the vice president. And this has only happened once before in 1825. And then they were listing the important dates like 12/14 as the state electors cast their ballots, and January 6, 21, which is the joint session of Congress, convenes with the Vice President Mike Pence presiding to certify that there's no wrongdoing at that time. And I looked up his birthday too, because Trump is a Gemini, so is Pence. So it's interesting. I get that too. Both my parents are Gemini, so I understand that energy. Or here, back to the read, is advisors or wise counsel, and the military, and Aries or orangey fiery guy, which is referencing that Trump energy, who may have gotten burned as Hierophant or guidance peeks out as a reference here. So again, religion was coming up here, the wounds that we need to clear, So there may be something about that referencing here, some kind of religious leaders or a religion specifically peeking out to see what's going on. And then a header about Mark Kelly, who's an astronaut from AOL.com. The elect stuff was coming up from APnews.com, and then this about astronaut Mark Kelly was coming up from AOL.com, officially sworn into the Senate. And he's an Arizona Democrat. So the questions of the president-elect sundowning was online, but this was coming up in my read before that, and that's the reason why I looked it up. Sundowning came up in my read associated with the King of Wands and the Tower reverse, which is Scorpio energy. And there's also Leo here at the end. Now, Scorpio is upright earlier in the read, and it was funny because they were talking about the fact that he's clear early in the morning, but not at night. And of course, this is speculation. I don't know what the truth is. But that was definitely coming up in my read, which is why I'm confirming that, because what my read is saying was the same thing as the headlines, all right? So we have Scorpio very alert in the beginning of the read, but by the end of the read, it's reversed along with Aries reversed and Leo reversed, which is the sundowning. The Emperor reversed stepping down or maybe losing it. And the Three of Pentacles upright is a coming together at the workplace, at work or in co-creation. So this could be like a mediation or a coming together. And again, if one party picks the president, one the vice president, this is a coming together of like to, both people making concessions to come together in peace. So we have Cancer upright and Virgo upright and Taurus upright here, real solid at the end of the read. Capricorn's reversed. And Pisces, so the main cards in the read were Cancer and Capricorn, that axis. Capricorn's upright with the Chariot, but the shadow's reversed. So the Capricorn's reversed. Pisces is upright as well. A negative past or kids working against you. Perhaps your kids are being difficult or having a fight with one of them. The Hermit sheds light on this giving advice. The Queen of Pentacles reversed is hiding behind the Hermit or the King of Swords. The Hermit can be the King of Swords to protect them from the energy source, the new passion, the project, or the third energy. Or it could be in your face kind of guy, right? Who just, if they like you, they're going to tell you whether you're connected to someone or not. Or the Queen of Pentacles reversed is not a Virgo, but has Virgo moon or rising or heavily in their chart. Overwhelmed divine masculine's heart in the Batcave, opening up to the world, the divine feminine, the ascension, and his higher self. So at 254, which is the High Priestess and the Page of Swords, the Two of Cups connection, the Two of Cups being upright, in positive energy exchange with the Eight of Wands upright, under the radar, in the shadows, doing shadow work, where the worst is over in the bliss state, emotionally fulfilled and challenged by the past, boldly moving forward, the phoenix rising from the ashes to tango with flame, the King of Cups reversed, walking away from all they've built, emotionally sundowning Taurus, religion, establishment, or patriarchy, or guidance, or a marriage, or feeling like you got burned, the King of Wands shaman, perhaps the King of Wands shaman is cleaning up a mess that was left by the Emperor or Aries and Scorpio, both reversed, by Scorpio or Aries reversed, or coming together at work to work things out. The Hermit or Virgo could be walking away from Cancer, King of Cups reversed, or Leo with Cancer in their chart could be the King of Cups reversed, or the King of Cups reversed may feel like they got burned in a commitment with the King of Wands, who's upright. That's the shaman energy. So the King of Cups reversed, the King of Wands upright. Avoiding the Emperor reversed, or perhaps the Emperor won't reason with him or give them a reason, or Scorpio and Leo or Aries are going head to head here. With guidance, or Taurus or Virgo there to counsel or as the mediator. So the Hermit or Virgo may have been out all night, missing their flame, perhaps the pride getting in the way of communication here, no matter which end it's on. And then Scorpio reversed could announce, sadly, feeling imprisoned by sundowning, or cancer and radiation or chemo treatment. So it could be sundowning, or it could be cancer treatment, or cancer or radiation treatment could be causing sundowning. But somebody may have been trying to be creative and work around their health matters. The Two of Cups in bliss, hermiting or with hermit, Virgo, or advisor, to the Emperor reversed and the Queen of Wands reversed, in energetic exchange, in a happy ending, challenged by being present and or the past, and the King of Cups reversed, detached emotionally, sad, depressed, or not doing well, under the radar or feeling of failure, in a bold move to move, travel, or ascend, past the shadow and rise above, with flame in hand, walking away or at the beach, or sundowning and life is a bitch. Hierophant or Taurus and the King of Wands shaman, working without Scorpio and or Aries, and cleaning up the mess they left, perhaps, the Emperor reversed, the mess they left behind, and fixing up the workplace, perhaps, or coming together for a settlement on a property, or settling out in a business at 310, which is the Empress and a turn for the better. And maybe this has to do with something that might be healthy for Gaia. And then I was guided to write the word intuition down again, which I told you before. This is my interpretation of intuition. If you take the two T's, there's the two twins that connect, which looks like pi, but it's also like a goal, like kicking something over the goal. And in between the goal line, the goal posts are you and I. So it's in, twit, ion, and ion means connection. So in, twit, connection. So when it's the twit, when you have a goal in mind, just to stay connected and not let go. So it's in twins in you and I connection is the in twit ion. Twins in you and I connection. But remember, you become the twit when you have a goal in mind. The purpose here is just to stay connected and not let go. It doesn't have to do with your individual goals, because when you start looking too much into the forward, then you lose the 0 point and your ability to co-create, because that's where the co-creation comes from, the 0 point energy. So that was important to come up. All right, I'm going to pull you an energy card because this is definitely going long. And yeah, let me know. There was a lot of great information that came up from my guides today. It was really amazing, actually. I can't express to you how much fun this is for me when I look forward to getting my messages every day. Because the way I feel them is very different than the way it comes across to you. When I'm giving it to you, I'm giving you information, but when I'm getting it, it's such an amazing energy. And it's 6:06 on the clock, which is the lovers and the lovers. And it's 1:07:21 on this clock, which is the magician and the chariot and the world. All right, so what is our takeaway from this read? For everybody watching, for the best and highest good of all those concerned, what do we need to know? What do we need to learn? And let's clear all blockages to positive energy flow in all chakra layers, auric layers, grounding and galactic cords, across all dimensions of time, space, matter, and realities, for the highest good of all those concerned, and fill that empty space with only beautiful divine love and diamond crystalline light. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, take another deep breath. This is our takeaway for the twins for this read today. All right, we have the temple path. You're right on path. The 12 is the wisdom, it's the hangman, seeing new perspectives. And again, the Thomas Kincaid energy is coming through from this. It's the Garden of Prayer, but I was also getting the Secret Garden. Isn't that a movie, The Secret Garden? I'm getting the Secret Garden. It's like the place of reunion. And the Enchanted Forest that came up the other day, of the cards that came up about union. There's the cornucopia of Thanksgiving every day. Wake up and be Frosty the Snowman. Say, happy birthday. And then remember later, at dinner time, it's Thanksgiving every day. After your path every day. The Secret Garden. The Enchanted Forest. To remember that this is your life. And then we have the 51 of the Healer of the Ages. This is the King of Swords energy of making his magic. He's the healer. And look how beautiful it is. Being on path, giving thanks every day with the 11 of justice and the abundance of life and the earth. And then being the healer of the ages, the 51, the King of Swords. The masculine, logical man. Right? Because the masculine brings in the mastery of the mind. The feminine brings in the mastery of the etheric realms, the connections to the ETs. And then the walking away, perhaps, of a third energy here. Or the 27 of someone who's found their passion and perhaps leaving home to go do it. And the man holding a coin. Okay, so this is all path stuff. And then we have 3 energies here. There's 2 masculine energies and a feminine energy. And this could represent that there was a third-party situation. It can reference children as well. But this is coming up as 3 different people with 3 different ideas of what they want to do, right? This is the healer. This one's inspired physically to go do something. And then this one is very into their business or being a businessman, with the 43 of coming together socially, perhaps. Maybe there's a lot of social interaction. The bottom of the deck is the door to personal healing and happiness. Again, bringing the outside in, and the purification begins, and the rainbow bridge, right? Coming on to the other side. This is 5D, right? Crossing the rainbow bridge, purification is all clear, windows open, outside is inside and outside, and there you are in 5D, right? Heaven on earth. With the 34, which is that energetic exchange between the twins, the third energy. All right, let's see what Scooby-Doo has to say. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? All right, tell us, Scooby, what's going on? It's 6:10 on the clock. That's my mother's birthday. She's in the Alzheimer's facility. And we're not, it was just 11111. It was 011111. A lot of ones. All right, these two both came out together. The 8 and 7 of Pentacles, and I think they came out the other day. If it was yesterday, I can't remember. This is someone very excited about their feet, or perhaps their pedicure. The 8 of Pentacles is the workplace, getting everything in order, right? Cleaning up the place, cleaning up yourself, your body, taking care of yourself. And then the 7 of Pentacles is reversed, which is reaping rewards, but when it's reversed, it's now implementing a plan on how to spend that money. Do you want to go back to work? Do you want to save? Do you want to invest? So here you were puffing your feathers and showing off, and here, toning it down under the radar to plan what you want to do next, right? So cleaning up the act and then making new plans, Stan. Got to be coy, Roy, to set yourself free. And here's someone, the King of Swords again, doing everything and on one leg to boot. Okay, and this could be someone getting the boot as he kicks his foot up there, getting the boot. But somebody's happy about it. I'm very proud of themselves. This is heaven in their eyes, 7 of Cups, seeing synchronicities and showing off, right? And if that doesn't work, then they'll hula hoop too. Somebody's really into it. Whoever they're trying to attract, they're really going to try hard to get them to reciprocate here. And then they might be a little dazzled or off with the 4 of Pentacles, and they need to rest at that point. Okay, and then you can connect in the 5D. The bottom of the deck here is the Queen of Pentacles reversed, which was reversed in the read. Normally she's very confident in herself, but here she may be a little ungrounded or, again, frazzled. That might be that ungrounded energy, or losing money or status in her own life. And again, just taking it easy. Needing to ground again. So those are the energies coming up from Scooby-Doo. The masculine looks like he's gotten it all together. The feminine needs to take it easy. Take it easy. Take it easy. Don't let the whatever drive you crazy. I can't remember the words. Don't let the sound of your own voice drive you crazy. I'm trying to think of the words. All right, so from the Journey of Love. Journey of Love, what is the energy for the twins? What is our takeaway from this read today? 3 to 1, jump. 10 is the Wheel of Fortune, that turn for the better. Being inside the vortex, very calm and still, but it's, it's not really smooth in there though. There's a little bit of turbulence in there, but it seems calm. It could be the calm before the storm. And look at this, the next card is the exact same energy of the ultrasound, and look how they reflect each other. How cool is that? The twins, it's twins. Look, it's twins. There's the double bladder of the fish and the twins, right? The double uterus. There they are. And I believe there's a child in there. There's 2 people and then a child, I think. It's hard to tell. It may just be 2 people, or it's 2 people and a child. Within nothing, there's everything. 10, 2. 10 is that turn for the better. And 2 is the High Priestess, the secret, the psychic abilities. 3, and it has to be 3 to 1. There has to be 3 people in the picture. The card's 3 to 1. So it's becoming one with all it is. And then the bottom of the deck, the beauty card wanted to be seen too. That's the next one out, 58, which is the 4 of Swords, right? Get your beauty rest. So that's a reminder for the feminine, which was what just came up anyway. So that was confirming that. The bottom of the deck is intimacy, which is 35. 35 is the 8 of Wands, that energetic exchange between the 2. And then baby makes 3. Loving all that is, the 22 Fool, right? Hugging your twin, even if they're physically not there. Like making your reality, the Fool, seen as the Fool, right? But it's all in the same energy, right? We have the uterus energy of here and here. And you see the rings, the multiple rings, the 3 rings, the 3-ring circus, and the vortex of coming together in the passion of love, of intimacy in 35. That's the underlying energy. And then here is the creation that comes out of that, the twins. This is so cool. I love how it came up as the double bladder in the fish. The bladder of the fish. Within nothing, there is everything. And remember that the bladder of the fish is full of gas, not liquid. And that's where they can stay afloat, where the twins float on air by keeping themselves emptied into their holiness, their purification. The 10 and the 2 of that high vibration of the High Priestess, the higher self. So cool. And then here's the beauty card along with that. So this, I'll show you intimacy too, which was the underlying energy. So the intimacy here. So you see the colors, how they change. And then this changes all of a sudden. Like, so once this is established, the twins, it's really important that the feminine gets her beauty rest. Okay? Maybe there's a beauty rest mattress or something coming up here. But that is the 4 of Swords. So sleep, rest, meditate, especially for the divine feminine. I'm going to read to you the 10. I have to read to you both of them, 10 and 2, because they're the 2 sacks. So 10 says, that's the 3 to 1. 3 to 1 jump. There is a heavenly child in your midst. It may be within your heart, in your womb, or a glimmer in your eye soon to be. This child holds the key to the fulfillment of a process that is happening for you now. The child might be a physical culmination of your marriage or commitment to another. It might be a symbolic birthing of a new self after a time of learning to bring male energies of protection and discernment together with female energies of feeling and creativity. Whether within yourself or in your relationship with another, the child might symbolically be a new life, an improved relationship, a book, a new job, a completely renewed way of dealing with what was once a challenging issue, and so soon will not be an issue for you anymore, just to name some examples. From masculine to feminine to child, there is now just one, a new reality dawning with grace. This oracle holds a message for you. New life is upon you now. You're being reborn, and you will give birth to what is meant for you this lifetime. There's no need to worry. Just pray with an open heart that you may be supported to fulfill your destiny. You already are, of course, but prayer can help you realize it. The rest is in the loving and capable hands of the divine. And the poem reads, love is what makes the heart beat faster, the lump in my throat, the feeling of missing you so much that I can't wait to be with you again. And then we are, and I look into your eyes deeper, and I know the unspoken words that say, I love you, and feel words in return. How short each lifetime seems, but what I feel with you lasts forever. May love be the compass that guides you on the course of a lifetime. All right, the second card was number 2. Within nothing there is everything. And that one says, from a point of stillness, a moment, a complete universe is opening up to you, endlessly expanding. Your every thought and intention sends ripples of consciousness through the universe. What a creative being you are. You are sending consciousness into motion, bringing your creation into being. With every inner desire, with every whispered wish, the universe receives your yearning and aspirations with open arms, returning them to you as manifestation in your life. What is really in your heart? Open your arms, sigh, speak your heart truth aloud to the loving universe and receive it as your destiny manifesting now. I love you. This oracle brings a message to you. Something that you want is on its way to you. It may seem to be coming out of nowhere, no sign on the horizon to give you hope, yet it is coming to you anyway. It is spiritual law that you cannot be denied the manifestation of your heart's desire. Trust and remain open to the tide of universal love rushing toward you, swelling within you now. And it simply states, the wind moves gently. Through the trees, quiet water flows. Life's song calls softly. Okay, guys, make sure you drink your water, get your rest, get your joy, get your nature, and be so good to yourselves, guys. Rise and be loved. I will see you again very, very soon. Bye.